Happy early January, friends. Art here with American Watchman. I hope everyone is doing well and staying warm after this recent blast of winter we have experienced. It is currently about 20 degrees in the West Michigan area. It is what I call brr cold. Today I want to first discuss recent news. The Israeli Defense Force has intercepted yet another Houthi missile, which was heading towards central Israel. The missile was fortunately shot down before it crossed the border into Israel. Sirens were sounded in the area, and there were some reports of explosions. I've not heard reports of any injuries. Thank the Lord for that. Meantime, in Gaza, terrorists fire a rocket at Israel, while the IDF keeps pressing on to victory. The IDF fired a missile that intercepted the oncoming projectile. There were no injuries to report. Hamas is trying to recruit and move back into the area. Meantime, elite units of the IDF continue to perform raids in northern Gaza, eliminating terrorists, weapons, rocket launchers, mortars, RPGs, rockets, and other explosives. In Lebanon, Hezbollah is also trying to regain its strength after suffering defeat from the IDF. My thing is this: don't these terrorists know they have been defeated by the IDF? Don't they know they are going up against the toughest military in the world? Don't they know that by going against Israel, they are going up against the living God? Remember to pray for Israel and God's chosen people. In Genesis 12:3, it states, "I will bless those who bless you, and curse those who curse you, and all the families of the earth will be blessed through you." You do not want to go up against Israel. I wouldn't want to. No way. Because if you do, you will be taking on God himself, who protects this tiny country. I believe that the war in the Middle East with Israel is about to escalate into the Psalm 83 war. In Psalm 83, verses 1 through 4, Asaph begins with a heartfelt plea for God to help Israel against a large array of conspiring enemies. These enemies band together under the common goal of destroying Israel and erasing it from history. In verses 5 through 8, we see that the writer lists these ancient enemies who have come together to defeat Israel. I will list their ancient names and then give their modern equivalents. Note how these modern nations match with our current headlines. It is the nations that surround Israel. Edom is part of southern Jordan and southern Israel. Ishmael is the father of the Arab people. It includes the Arabian Peninsula, Jordan to the northwest, and Yemen to the south. Now, isn't that interesting? Yemen is where the Houthis come from. Moab is southern Jordan. The Hagrites lived in both Syria and Jordan. Gabal is modern-day Lebanon and is where Hezbollah operates from. Ammon is parts of Jordan. Amalek touches the area near southern Israel and the Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. Philistia is Gaza and the Palestinians. This is the place where Israel has been fighting Hamas. That's where Hamas comes from. Tyre is Lebanon, and again, that's where Hezbollah is. And finally, Assyria is part of northern Iraq and southeast Turkey. Isn't it interesting how Old Testament prophecy in the book of Psalms aligns with the current war in the Middle East? In verses 9 through 12, Asaph prays for the defeat of these current adversaries. In verses 13 through 17, he pleads for God to bring a resounding defeat upon these enemies, comparing them to chaff before the wind, a forest fire, or flames on the side of a mountain destroying everything in its path. Asaph concludes with a powerful affirmation of faith, declaring that the Lord alone is the Most High over all the earth, affirming God's sovereignty despite the looming threats. Psalm 83 reminds us of God's unfailing power and that our hope in victory rests in God's hand. Once again, prophecy to me is proof that God is real. If you are not already saved, I encourage you to become so now as these events rapidly approach us. You do not want to miss the rapture, and you do not want to be left behind during the Great Tribulation. I don't care how tough you are. It's not going to be a nice time. What's coming will make World War II look like a trip to Disney World. Now, if you have doubts about your salvation, please, I encourage you to read Romans 10:9, which states, "If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved." If you have any prayer requests, please leave them in the comments below, and I will be happy to pray for you. I promise I will pray for you. If you wish to stay anonymous, send me a friend request or simply message me in private, and I will pray for you. Until next time, my friends, American Watchman out. Have a blessed week.